Hi, I'm Peter, part of the festival team here at Romford Film Festival. Today I'm talking to Marcus Massey about his film Witch Hunters Are Coming. Thank you very much for joining us, Marcus.
It's lovely to be here, actually. It's fantastic. Haven't been to Romford for some time, so it's good to be back. And it's lovely here, actually.
Great to have you. Thanks so much for coming. Whereabouts have you come from today?
I've actually come from Tooting.
Ah, great.
Yes, it's not very far, and it was a very, very pleasant journey. Much more pleasant than I imagine it would have been a couple of days ago.
Yes. It's a little bit cooler today.
It was sweltering.
Yes, definitely. So, Marcus, you're one of the actors and you're the producer on this film. Can you tell us how you first became involved with the project? And then we'll go into what the actual film's about.
Yes, okay, so I'm the co-producer, really. The main producer is also the writer.
Okay.
A chap by the name of James Atkins. Now, I worked with James on another film fairly recently, a couple of years ago, called Bragging Rights.
Okay.
And I was playing a superhero in that.
Right.
The inimitable and irrepressible Professor Tomorrow. Professor Tomorrow is one hell of a superhero, really. He runs into burning buildings, saving people, hence his latex catsuit and welding goggles. and his superpower is his super speed, which of course you need.
You do need that,
to save people from, you can imagine. Yes, for Professor Tomorrow. But
tell us the premise of the film.
so the film is based. It's a mockumentary about a witch hunting department at Wandsworth Council. Because it's a little known fact that there is a witch hunting law in Wandsworth which has never been repealed, and so Wandsworth Council, whether they like it or not, are compelled to have a witch hunting department run by me.
Yeah.
And of course I have an intern from Kansas
Called Dorothy.
Called Dorothy.
Dressed as Dorothy Gale, of course, from The Wizard of Oz. There's lots of references in the film which I enjoyed.
Good. Yeah, and so yes, so of course there is the ongoing menace that has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And this is it. And this rather flustered and raggedy council chap has to go around and dealing with all of this sort of stuff. And it's how can I put it? It's a tough job.
Yeah.
Running around Tooting Common.
Responding to reports of witches. That's the part of it, isn't it? It's like an everyday thing that witches are sort of, it could be the woman next door. There's people who put complaints in that I think my next door neighbour is a witch and I have this as evidence, and then your character is called to basically knock on the front door and question them about, are you a witch? And to get to, that's the premise. It's like an everyday mockumentary, isn't it? Like a daytime TV show. Yeah.
And you need to be licensed.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have people like you running around doing it. You have no idea about how to deal with these sort of people.
No, we need experts like yourself.
So it's a tough one. These people have to be trained. These people have to read their books. And so it can get hairy out there. So that's it. It's on the basis of TV programs like The Bailiffs.
It's that kind of daytime TV kind of atmosphere to the show that you're sort of is been portrayed in the film.
Exactly. So hence it's done handheld.
Yes.
And hence it's done in a way whereby we can use some of the crew as the crew.
Yes. That's
in
right.
the film.
Yes. Yeah. It's all on that kind of meta level. Yeah.
Let's just put it together and make it happen. Yes.
So how long ago did you first start shooting the film? When was this film made?
This film was made, and it's time goes so quickly. This film was shot in April 2000. April 2019.
Okay, right.
So it was quite some time ago, actually, especially over the last few months, where it seems like this.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So it was quite a long time, and we got some great music in it, some nice little special effects as well, which is a bit of fun. Okay, yeah, there's a nice little bit of fun. The main witch.
Yep.
Mrs. Blair.
Yeah, that's another reference. There
Obviously,
we go. That was the one I was trying to think of, Mrs. Blair. That's right.
Yes. Now I knew Keely Joe from another film that we'd done some time ago, and in my mind, it was if she said yes,
right, then
it should be her. It was just a question of putting that to James, right, and seeing if he was to go with that. And I think she did a marvellous job. It is the way, when I read the script, I envisaged.
Okay. And you managed to do that.
Mrs. Blair to be.
Yes.
And when you have that, that's one less
thing to worry about.
Issue in the book of issues.
Okay, so on that note then, speaking of issues, what was your biggest challenge, or some of the challenges, on making the film itself?
The biggest challenge, was actually, I think that it's always an issue about location and finding the right place, and it's really securing the right place, and persuading the owner that having a film crew tramping through, and it's not specifically specified when it will be finished, and honestly, it will be cleared up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it is, but that I think is really, for a film like this, the main challenge. And then of course there is the challenge which always happens, which is the edit.
Okay.
Yes, the cuts that hurt.
Right. Yes. Okay.
As I call them, especially when you are in it, and of course, I mean, the only way to deal with that is to not deal with it, and just trust, let go.
Right. Okay.
Let go. Now, of course, when you are only acting, that's all you do anyway.
Sure.
But when you're more involved in the film, then it's harder to let go, especially when there is that scene. It's so that is so brilliant. No, but we really can't have it. That it's always painful.
Yeah.
Delete it from your mind. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
It never happened. And yes, so you can have the cut, you can have the director's cut, and then you can have, my private cut. Well, right. No, it's never going to happen.
No.
Just get it out of your head.
So how long was the film in its first sort of stage before that edit, you know?
Well, I think we were about 13 and a half minutes, I think.
Okay.
And it needed to be trimmed down to 10.
Yeah.
So I think it's 4 seconds shy of 10 now. Just because 10 minutes is a standard short film situation, and that's it. So of course you're going to have to lose bits that you don't want to lose. But it is the painful bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, I mean, it sort of, I think 10 minutes is the perfect sort of time, because it sort of gets in, does the point, and then gets out.
Yes.
It's very, there's no fat.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the fun parts about it. It's very fast moving, and then, it's done. That's the complete part.
Exactly. You can tell the entire story and then get out.
So you mentioned, was it a day and a half, the shoot?
Yes.
Yeah. Whereabouts did you shoot it? Did you shoot it in it's based?
We did actually shoot it in Tooting.
In Tooting,
yes.
right, okay.
Yes. As in the voiceover when the marvellous Russell's dramatic voiceover.
Yes. Yes. And so that's another thing that makes it sound like one of those daytime magazine kind of shows that you'd get. It's that voiceover. We've all heard it. We all recognise it.
It was a weird one, actually. I was in a pub having a pre-gig drink when I phoned up my mate just to find out how things were, and he goes, "Oh, I was just doing a voiceover for something." Well, I think, and I was going, "Oh, right, oh, okay, well, just like, yes, for James." Well, James, and I'd worked with him more times than I know how to count, and then it turns out that he's doing the voiceover for BS.
Okay.
So that was another pleasant surprise, which I didn't even know about. Well, of course, you don't know about surprises. That being surprises being what they are these days. Yep. But actually, it would be, he would be good for that. But he was already there.
Great.
So that worked out well.
Yeah. So the film's just played here at Romford. Tell me about, has it played other festivals? Is it going on to play festivals? What's the life of the film going to be?
It has played a lot of festivals already, and there's going to be plenty more too. In actual fact, it's somewhere like 60.
Wow.
Yeah. We're having to redo the poster to fit in more of the laurels.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. Bragging.
That's good to know. It's good to know.
Well, yeah. It is. It's the film that keeps on giving. And it's, I think, also humorous in the sort of way that works with different countries.
Yes.
And so I don't think it was. I didn't write it. I don't think it was written specifically for that. But it seems to work that way in hindsight, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's not complicated, and but it's sort of universally funny.
Right. So, Marcus, in doing my research, I've seen that you've been in a fair amount of indie film projects. What would you say, or how has the industry maybe changed recently, or over a slightly longer term? Is there anything you've noticed in the indie filmmaking sort of?
Right. Well, not really from my perspective. No, but I'm sure there are always changes taking place, incremental changes and so forth. Obviously, there's been a massive hit in the last few months.
Yeah.
And that has affected everybody.
Of course.
And I mean, it's become very, very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? And there have been attempts to put together films on either by self-taping or Zoom. I remember a really marvellous film which I actually saw in Romania, called Unfriended.
Okay.
If you ever saw that, it is
yes.
all.
It's the one on the internet.
Yes.
In a chat
That
room
was several years ago. I thought that film was terrific when I first saw it, and I suppose you could potentially make something like that. Although, of course, that's already been done.
Yes, but you're always exploring different ideas. There's always ideas out there, and ideas are what I think are very important to low-budget films.
Yes,
because you have to make it unique
and consistently trying to come up with something innovative.
Yes,
and that's what you have to. That's what you have to do anyway in filmmaking.
Sure.
Full stop. Because no matter what your budget is going to be tight.
Yes.
And And if you want to blow up a car for no reason, then do that anyway, just because you don't really need it anymore at the end of the production. But because I've been in a film where that.
I was going to say, it sounds like you've blown up a car with no reason.
I wasn't producing; I was only in a film.
Okay.
And it was a terrific film to be involved with, and it's actually a marvellous film. It's a little mad, but you'll probably guess that by the name of the film. It's called Bunny the Killer Thing, about a 7-foot high rabbit monster,
excellent,
which goes around killing people in horrible ways because. Well, I mean,
why not? I mean, does there have to be a reason?
well. See, what do rabbits do?
Well, I think we all know
what
rabbits like to do.
So yes, but here's the thing. You see, when you're a 7-foot high rabbit monster, you can do all these things to people with gay abandon
on a larger scale.
Because who's there to stop you?
Very good point.
Yes, I was playing a kidnapper from Britain who was working under contract for the Finnish government, kidnapping celebrities, taking them into the middle of the Finnish forest in northern Finland to a secret government laboratory where they were injected with a green rabbit serum that turned them into 7-foot rabbit monsters.
Right.
And then, of course, one of them escaped and went rogue.
Yes.
As they often do, these particular creatures, and caused chaos. I get killed in a horrible way. I think it's. Well, nobody has ever been killed on film in the way that I get killed.
Wow, okay.
And I think it's also pretty unlikely that anybody has been killed in that way at all. And especially the whole situation surrounding it. Obviously, that's never happened. So yes. So that was a wonderful 35 days in northern Finland in January, at minus 35 degrees.
Jeez.
Yes, that was good.
So yourself looking forwards as an actor or producer or both?
Acting is what I want to do.
Okay.
Producing is the mechanics of making the film, and if I have to do that, I will to get a film made. But it's not where my passion lies.
Okay.
I want to actually play the characters, and in these last few months, it's been difficult for everybody. But I have managed to do. I do voiceover as well. I managed to do this audio drama, a murder.
Excellent.
Believe it or not.
Another one. I can see why you're a voice actor.
And so that was fun. Although bizarrely, I was actually doing it in just my normal accent.
Right.
When I did the audition for it, Count Wolfgang von Lerner. I was. My name is Wolfgang von Lerner, and he goes, no, we don't want any of that.
Oh.
Just normal. Okay, fine. So yes, so I've done that. There is a 4-part drama about the COVID crisis.
Right.
We filmed the first part. The 3 subsequent parts are being written, and so that is in the making. We'll see how that goes. There is there is another film coming from
Okay.
James Atkins Productions.
All right. Are you able to tell us anything about that?
Well, best not, because it isn't finished.
Okay.
And the reason why it's not finished is because there has been a lockdown.
Yep.
And there's still social distancing taking place.
Sure.
So it is half shot. There is another half to go, and then of course then the machinery will start happening. Obviously it's the whole post, and then the machinery will start happening. But suffice to say, there is another one coming.
Excellent.
Definitely, because it's half made, and so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then another one after that.
Okay, great. We'd love to have you back with whatever film you've managed to get made first, back here at Romford. We'd love to have you.
I'd love to come.
Great.
It's fantastic.
Great.
Yes, last time I was in Romford was shooting a short little thing in a nightclub
Okay.
up the road somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was fun, coming to do that.
What kind of film was it?
Oh, it was a short, it was a pilot, actually. And I think that's going, it was, how long ago? It's probably about a year ago or something like that. That's going ahead, but that will, as the machinery moves forward, it's not for me to say. I'm not the producer or anything of that sort. So yes, but all I'm just saying that was the last time I was in Romford.
Great.
Yes.
Final question. If you had one piece of advice to give to a budding actor, what would it be?
I would say, get on set as much as possible. And the reason why I say that is because experience is everything. And working with different people is experience. And I know, of course, I've been saying I'm working with James a lot, but I mean, that's because, well, yeah, of course, work where you've got a great collaboration going. But it's different because different people work in different ways. They have different personalities, and that's important. And then, so there is that. Get on set as much as possible and just shoot.
It's been a great discussion, Marcus. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And for bringing your film here. Great to have you.
Thank you very much. It's been lovely. It's been lovely, and everybody here has been lovely as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.